Some questions
have no answers.
Some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. But in this place, the unknowable becomes terrifyingly real. What happens when you confront the things that lie beyond human comprehension? Today, we're talking about the Bridgewater Triangle. 200 square miles of southeastern Massachusetts, a vortex of the bizarre and a portal to the paranormal. My name's Dizzy, and this is the Lore Keepers Archives. Thank you for joining me as we plunge into the heart of this puzzling place, exploring the chilling mysteries that have haunted the region for centuries. Now, long before the arrival of European settlers, the indigenous people of this land, the Wampanoag, recognized the unique energy of this region. None more than the area known as the Hockomock Swamp. Hockomock being the Algonquin term meaning place where spirits dwell. And in the 1600s, facing the encroachment of English settlers, the Wampanoag people, the major tribe in the region, utilized the Hockomock Swamp as a stronghold. The dense and forbidding terrain made it a key battleground during the King Philip's War, offering a very strategic advantage to Metacomet, also known as King Philip, as he led resistance efforts against the colonial expansion. Now, the Bridgewater Triangle was directly impacted by the war. Several key battles were fought within its borders, and many lives were lost. The violence and suffering of this period are believed to be some that have imprinted itself on the land, contributing to the dark energy that pervades the area. In the aftermath of the war, the Hockomock Swamp, once a place of reverence and spiritual significance for the Wampanoag, became associated with fear and superstition by the settlers. They saw it as a wild and untamed place. It was a breeding ground for strange creatures and malevolent spirits. The colonists, arriving with their own folklore and superstition, added new layers to the already rich tapestry of mystery. Tales of werewolves, witches, and demons circulated among the settlers, blending with Native American legends to create a truly unique mythology. And these stories, being passed down through generations, helped to shape the perception of the Bridgewater Triangle as a place of darkness and unknown. As the centuries passed, the reports of strange occurrences continued. In the 19th century, the area gained notoriety as a series of gruesome murders, including the infamous Lizzie Borden case, which took place just outside the borders of the Triangle. These events further cemented the region's reputation for a place of darkness and violence. In the 20th century, the Bridgewater Triangle became a hotbed for paranormal activity. Reports of UFO sightings, Bigfoot encounters, ghostly apparitions flooded in, attracting the attention of researchers, investigators, and just curious onlookers alike. It was during this time that cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman recognized the unique concentration of strange phenomenon in the area and coined the term Bridgewater Triangle, forever linking this region with the unexplained. The skies above Bridgewater Triangle seem to be a particularly busy highway for the unknown. For decades, witnesses have reported seeing objects that defy our understanding of flight, glowing orbs that dance and weave through the stars, metallic discs that hover slightly above the treetops, and, of course, those enigmatic triangular crafts that leave trails of light in their wake. One of the most compelling cases occurred in spring of 1979, when a wave of sightings gripped the town of Bridgewater. Over several nights, numerous residents, including police officers, reported seeing a large, silent, triangular craft with red lights at its corners hovering in the sky. This wasn't just a fleeting glimpse, though. The object was observed for extended periods, moving slowly and deliberately as if surveying the landscape below. One witness, a police sergeant, John Norton, described the craft as being bigger than a football field, with red lights that pulsated with an eerie rhythm. He was so convinced of what he was seeing that he contacted the National Guard, who reportedly tracked the object on radar, confirming its physical presence. But the 1979 sightings weren't isolated incidences. The Bridgewater Triangle has a long history of UFO encounters dating back to the early 20th century. Here are just a few of the many UFO sightings that have been reported in the Bridgewater Triangle over the years. But what is it about the area that makes it such a hot spot for UFO activities? Some researchers believe that the area's unique geological features may play a role. The Bridgewater Triangle is located on a series of fault lines, and some theorize that these fault lines could be creating electromagnetic anomalies that attract or even generate UFOs. Others suggest that the area's high concentration of crystal quartz could be amplifying a psychic energy, making it easier for interdimensional beings to manifest in our reality. Whatever the explanation, the UFO sightings in the Bridgewater Triangles continue to fascinate and mystify. Are these visitors from other worlds drawn to this place by some unknown force? Or are they something closer to home? Perhaps experimental aircrafts pushing the boundaries of technology, their secrets hidden from the public eye. The truth remains elusive. But the close encounters of the Bridgewater kind continue to fuel speculation and debate. But the strangeness of the Bridgewater Triangle doesn't stop at unidentified flying objects. This region is also a haven for cryptids, those elusive creatures whose existence walks the fine line between folklore and reality. Perhaps the most famous cryptid of all, Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a frequent visitor of the Bridgewater Triangle. The Hockomock Swamp, with its dense vegetation and murky waters, provides the perfect cover for this elusive creature. Numerous sightings of Bigfoot have been reported over the years. Often described as a tall, hairy, bipedal creature with a powerful build and piercing eyes, some witnesses have reported hearing its distinctive howls echoing through the swamp at night, sending chills down their spines. One particular chilling encounter occurred in the 1980s when a group of campers in the Freetown State Forest awoke to find a large, hairy creature peering into their tent. The creature lingered for a moment, its eyes glowing in the darkness, before turning and disappearing into the woods. The campers were left terrified, convinced they had just had a close encounter with Bigfoot. But of course, Bigfoot isn't alone in these dark woods and murky swamps. The skies of Bridgewater Triangle belong to another legendary creature, the Thunderbird. But these sightings aren't just isolated incidents. The Thunderbirds are deeply rooted in Native American mythology, particularly among the Algonquin tribes of the northeastern United States. They believe these creatures were not merely birds, but powerful spirits capable of controlling the weather, bringing thunder and lightning with the beat of their wings. Some legends even depict Thunderbirds as shapeshifters, able to transform into human form. They were both revered and feared, seen as protectors and also as forces of nature that could unleash destruction if angered. And it's here in the Bridgewater Triangle the Thunderbird legend takes on a new dimension. Some believe that the Hockomock Swamp, with its ancient energy and mysterious depths, may be a gateway to another realm, a place where these creatures can cross over into our world. Others suggest that Thunderbirds may be drawn to the area's unique geological features, perhaps sensing the energy fields or ley lines that some believe crisscross the region. Needless to say, whatever the explanation, the Thunderbird sightings in the Bridgewater Triangle are numerous and compelling. One witness described seeing a Thunderbird perched on a high-tension power line, its massive talons gripping the wires, its eyes glowing like embers in the night. Another witness, a pilot who was flying over the Hockomock Swamp, reported seeing a Thunderbird flying alongside his plane. He described the creature as being as big as a Sonessa, with a wingspan that dwarfed his own aircraft. Now, could these be cases of misidentification, with large birds like eagles and vultures being mistaken for something more extraordinary? Or is this something truly unknown, and it's soaring through the skies of the Bridgewater Triangle? Some researchers believe that the Thunderbirds could be surviving pterosaurs, prehistoric flying reptiles that were thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Others suggest that they may be interdimensional beings, creatures that can shift between our reality and others. So the question is, could these ancient creatures, once thought extinct, still be soaring through the skies? Or are these creatures something even more extraordinary? Visitors from another dimension? And then there are the Pukwudgies. These mischievous creatures from Wampanoag folklore are said to inhabit the forests and swamps of the Bridgewater Triangle, playing tricks on unsuspecting travelers and sometimes even causing harm. They are described as small, humanoid creatures with gray skin, large noses, and glowing eyes. The Pukwudgies are said to be able to shapeshift, become invisible, and control elements. They are often blamed for strange lights, unexplained noises, and even missing objects. While some consider the Pukwudgies to be harmless pranksters, others believe they are malevolent spirits who are capable of causing harm or even death. There are stories of people being led astray in the woods by Pukwudgies and never seen again. But whether you believe in Bigfoot, Thunderbirds, Pukwudgies, or any other cryptid, there is no denying that the Bridgewater Triangle is a place where the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural seem to blur. It is a land of mystery and wonder. There are creatures of the legend and folklore, and they may still roam free. But the cryptids are not the only entities that are said to haunt the Bridgewater Triangle. This region is also home to a variety of ghosts and spirits. Restless souls that linger in the place where they once lived and died. From the ghostly apparitions that are said to haunt the old Tunton State Hospital, to the chilling tales of phantom hitchhikers on a desolate road, the Bridgewater Triangle is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. The Bridgewater Triangle is teeming with ghostly activity. From haunted cemeteries to abandoned spooky buildings to spectral figures roaming the woods, there's absolutely no shortage of encounters to be had. One of the most well-known hauntings is that of the red-headed hitchhiker. He's described as a young man with fiery red hair, often wearing a flannel shirt and jeans. Sometimes he appears soaking wet, as if he's been caught in a downpour. He appears on the side of Route 44, usually late at night, coming a ride. Those who stop to pick him up report that he speaks very little, often mumbling something about needing to get to the next town. Then, without warning, he's gone. Vanishes from the vehicle, leaving no trace. Some drivers report a sudden chill or feeling of dread just before he disappears. Some believe that he's the ghost of a young man who died in a car accident on that stretch of road, perhaps trying to relieve his final moments or warn others of the danger. Others suggest that he may be a malevolent entity, luring unsuspecting travelers to their doom. There are also theories that he is a time traveler or interdimensional being, briefly crossing over into our reality. One woman who picked up the hitchhiker said that as they were driving, she glanced over and saw that his eyes were completely black, like empty sockets. And she was so terrified that she swerved the car off the road and crashed into a ditch. When she came to, the hitchhiker was gone. There's the story of the truck driver who gave the hitchhiker a lift and said that as they were talking, the hitchhiker's voice started to become distorted and echoey, as if they were coming from a faraway place. And then the hitchhiker simply faded away, only leaving behind a faint smell of sulfur. But the red-headed hitchhiker is just one of the many spirits that are said to haunt the Bridgewater Triangle. There are a few more chilling tales. At the Tunton State Hospital, an abandoned psychiatric hospital that is a hotbed of paranormal activity, visitors report hearing disembodied voices, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling cold spots. Some have even claimed to be touched or pushed by unseen forces. The hospital's long history of suffering and death is believed to have left a lasting impression on the building, making it a magnet for lost souls. One of the hospital wards, a woman's voice can be heard sobbing uncontrollably, saying, "Where's my baby? They took my baby." The investigators searched the room but found no one was there. A security guard patrolling the grounds of the hospital at night reported seeing a tall, shadowy figure standing at the end of the hallway. The figure had no discernible features, just a dark silhouette against the dim light. And as the guard approached, the figure vanished into the wall. there was a group of teenagers exploring the hospital who claimed to have encountered a friendly ghost. They described a woman in an old-fashioned nurse's uniform who appeared to them in a darkened room. She smiled and told them to be careful before fading away. The teenagers, understandably, left the hospital feeling comforted rather than frightened. There's Profile Rock. This natural rock formation in Freetown State Forest is said to bear the image of a human face. Legend has it that it's the face of a Native American chief who was cursed by a shaman for betraying his tribe. Visitors to Profile Rock have reported feeling uneasy and experiencing strange sensations. And some have even claimed to see the face change expression or move. According to the legend, Chief Massasoit, a respected leader of the Wampanoag people, made a secret pact with the colonists, therefore betraying his people for personal gain. That's when a powerful shaman, angered by the chief's treachery, cursed him, saying that his face would be forever etched in stone as a reminder of his betrayal. Shortly after, Chief Massasoit, that's got to be how you say his name. Forgive me if I'm butchering that. Disappeared mysteriously, and his face appeared on that rock formation. And it is now known as Profile Rock. A woman hiking near Profile Rock claimed to have seen the face of the rock weeping. She said that tears were streaming down the stone's face, and she could hear a faint sound of sobbing coming from it. The Freetown State Forest is a vast and eerie forest. It's known for its dark history and numerous reports of paranormal activity. Visitors of the area have reported seeing strange lights, hearing unexplained noises, and encountering ghostly figures. There are even some reports of hikers being chased by unseen entities. The forest's association with Native American legend, colonial conflicts, and unsolved murders, don't worry, we'll get to it, has contributed to its reputation as a place to be feared and a mystery. On the dark side of the Bridgewater Triangle's mysteries is the high number of unexplained deaths and animal mutilations that have occurred within its boundaries. Cattle, horses, and other animals have been found dead with strange wounds and missing organs, with no other sign of struggle or predation. Some attribute these incidences to occult activity or even extraterrestrial intervention. Others believe they may be the work of natural predators, though the nature of the injuries often defy conventional explanations. In the early 1980s, a series of gruesome discoveries shocked the residents of Freetown. Several cows were found dead in the state forest, their carcasses bearing bizarre mutilations. Eyes, tongues, and reproductive organs were surgically removed with precision. And there was no sign of blood or struggle at the scene. Needless to say, the local farmers were baffled and rightfully so terrified. The rumors of cult activity or even extraterrestrial involvement began to circulate. Some of the details of the Freetown forest cattle mutilations are over a dozen cows were found over a period of several months. In addition to missing organs, some of the cows had strange symbols carved into their hides. There were no footprints or tire tracks around the carcasses, and no witnesses to the event. As I was saying, some attribute these incidents to occult activity, pointing to the ritualistic nature of the mutilations and the lack of evidence at the scene. Others believe the mutilations may be the work of extraterrestrial beings, citing the precision of the incisions, try saying that 5 times fast, and the removal of specific organs. Still others suggest that the mutilations are caused by natural predators. The unexplained deaths and animal mutilations in the Bridgewater Triangle remain a chilling mystery. And it continues fueling the speculation and fear, whether the results of human, extraterrestrial, or animal activity. These incidents cast a dark shadow over the region and contribute to their reputation as a place of danger and the unknown. The Bridgewater Triangle isn't just known for strange lights, mythical creatures, and unfortunately, cattle mutilations. It also has a disturbing history of unsolved murders. And that contributes to its eerie reputation. These cases, often shrouded in mystery and unanswered questions, only add another layer of darkness to the region's lore. And this is where we are introduced to Carl Drew. He was the leader of the Fall River cult, charismatic and manipulative leader of the satanic cult in the late 1970s and early 1980s. He exerted a powerful influence over his followers, many of whom were young, vulnerable women that were involved in less than reputable work. Drew and his cult were implicated in a series of brutal murders, including the unaliving of Doreen Levesque in 1979 and Karen Marsden in 1980. These murders were characterized by extreme violence. They often involved ritualistic elements and mutilation. One of Carl's many followers, Robin Murphy, was a young woman who fell under the sways of Carl and became deeply involved in the cult. She had also participated in the murders, acting as an accomplice to Drew's brutality. Murphy initially confessed to her role in the murders, providing detailed accounts of the crimes. However, she did later recant her confession, claiming that she was coerced and that her testimony was fabricated to ensure Drew's conviction. Now, while the Fall River cult murders didn't occur within the traditionally defined boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle, they took place in the nearby city of Fall River, which is often considered part of the broader region associated with the triangle's strange phenomenon. The cult's activity and the brutal nature of the murders cast a dark shadow over the area, contributing to the overall sense of unease and mystery that surrounds the Bridgewater Triangle. The story of Carl and Robin serves as a chilling reminder that the darkness that resides within the Bridgewater Triangle isn't solely confined to the realm of the paranormal. Human actions, driven by twisted beliefs and a thirst for power, can be just as terrifying and destructive as any mythical creature or unexplained phenomenon. The Fall River cult murders add a layer of human darkness to the Bridgewater Triangle's complex tapestry, highlighting the potential for evil that can lurk within seemingly ordinary communities. Some other unsolved murders from the area was the 1978 case of Mary Lou Arata. This case gripped the nation. When 15-year-old Mary Lou was abducted in Freetown, despite a massive search, it was weeks before her body was found tied to a tree in Freetown State Forest. The cause of death was determined to be strangulation, and the case remains unsolved.
Hey guys, the editor Dedsy here. So, while putting things together for this video, I found out that there was actually a arrest made in this case. A man named James Cater was arrested in 1996 after 4 retrials. Since then, he has died from cancer. That was back in January of 2016 while he was still living his life sentence. Enjoy the rest of the video.
So, there have been suspects over the years, and it continues to haunt the community. In 1993, Holly Pyrin, this one echoes the tragedy of Mary Lou. 10-year-old Holly vanished while visiting her grandparents' house in Sturbridge, just outside the Bridgewater Triangle. While only her shoe was found at the scene, months later, her remains were discovered in a wooden area of Brimfield. And like Mary Lou, the case remains unsolved, filling speculation about a possible connection between the two abductions. There's the story of the Bridgewater Triangle Ripper. While it's not just a single case, the pattern of brutal murders attributed to this unknown assailant, and it's pretty disturbing. Victims, who were mostly women, were found in various locations within the triangle, often bearing signs of torture and mutilation. The lack of suspects and the brutality of the crimes has just added more fuel to the fear and speculation for decades. And then there's the countless deaths that occur in the Hockomock Swamp. With its history of Native American legend and strange occurrences, it's been the site of numerous unexplained deaths over the years. Hikers and hunters have gone missing in the swamp. Their bodies sometimes found months or even years later, often with no clue to the cause of death. Some attribute the deaths of natural causes, while others whispers of malevolent spirits and unknown creatures lurking in the swamp's depths. These have been just a few examples of the unsolved murders and unexplained deaths that have occurred in the Bridgewater Triangle. The combination of these cases, along with the animal mutilations, the UFO sightings, the cryptid encounters, it creates a complex mystery and intrigue. Whether these incidents are the result of human action, natural phenomenon, or something more sinister, they continue to fascinate and frighten. And it ensures that the Bridgewater Triangle remains a place of mystery and speculation. And thank God that is over. Normal content from here on out, as normal as this channel gets. So the mystery of the Bridgewater Triangle has attracted paranormal investigators and researchers for decades. Drawn by the numerous reports of strange phenomenon, these individuals venture into the region armed with a variety of tools and techniques, hoping to capture evidence of the unknown. Some of the tools of their trade consists of cameras, from traditional film cameras to digital devices with with night vision and infrared capabilities. EVP recorders, electronic voice phenomenon recorders, captured sounds and voices that may be inaudible to the human ear. Electromagnetic field meters, or EMFs, to detect fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, with thermal imaging cameras to detect heat signatures when there shouldn't be any, and even motion sensors. Some of the techniques that they use are vigils. Investigators spend hours in reportedly haunted locations or areas with high strangeness, observing and documenting any unusual activities. They tend to do seances, interviews with researchers and witnesses. They do historical research. Some of the most notable investigations come from a group, the Paranormal Research Society. And this group has conducted numerous investigations in the Bridgewater Triangle using a variety of techniques to document evidence of paranormal activity. Their investigations have focused on locations like the Freetown State Forest, the Hockomock Swamp, and Profile Rock. Or, we know them, we love them, the Atlantic Paranormal Society, otherwise known as TAPS, or Ghost Hunters. Known for their work on their television show Ghost Hunters, TAPS has also investigated locations within the Bridgewater Triangle, using their signature scientific approach to explore claims of paranormal activity. And then there are a clusterfuck of independent researches, numerous independent researches, and paranormal enthusiasts have conducted their own investigation in the Bridgewater Triangle, often sharing their findings online and through social media. Now, that being said, while some investigators have yielded intriguing results, such as EVP recordings, strange photographs, the mysteries of the Bridgewater Triangle continue to elude definitive proof. The ambiguous nature of the evidence and the possibility of natural explanations keep the debate alive, and it fuels the allure of the unknown and draws in more investigators. The Bridgewater Triangle is steeped in folklore and legends, as you can tell. Again, it gets passed down through generations. These stories often blur the lines between fact and fiction, and that adds to the mystique of the region. There are many other legends and folklore associated with the Bridgewater Triangle. These include stories of UFO sightings, Bigfoot encounters, and ghostly apparitions. Some believe that the region is a portal to another dimension, while others attribute the strange occurrences to natural phenomenon. So whether based on real events or established over time, these tales contribute to a rich tapestry of mystery that surrounds the Bridgewater Triangle. They capture the imagination and inspire curiosity, drawing people to the region and search for answers. The legends and lore of the Triangle is a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring fascination of the unknown. And that's what I hope to continue by making this video. The Triangle isn't just a collection of spooky stories. Some researchers believe that the unique geological and environmental factors of the region may contribute to its paranormal activity. Could it be the land itself holds the key to the mysteries of the Bridgewater Triangle? For example, the Hockomock Swamp, with its, as previously stated, dense vegetation, murky waters, and a history that's steeped in Native American lore, it's often considered to be the heart of the Bridgewater Triangle paranormal activity. Some believe that the swamp acts as a portal to other dimensions, allowing beings and energies to cross over into our world. The swamp's unique environment, with its isolation and sense of primal mystery, certainly lends itself to such speculation. The triangle also has a rich and complex history, from the early Native American inhabitants to the arrival of European settlers and the conflicts that ensued. Some researchers suggest that significant historical events, particularly those involving violence and strong emotion, can leave behind energetic imprints on the land. These imprints, they argue, may manifest in paranormal activity. So, could the echoes of past battles or the lingering sorrows of displaced indigenous people be contributing to the strange occurrences of the Bridgewater Triangle? The geological features of the region might also play a role. Some speculate that underground water systems or mineral deposits could create electromagnetic fields that affect human perception and even attract human entities. While more research is needed to explore these possibilities, the idea that the land itself holds a power that influences the paranormal is a compelling one. Whether or not any of these theories hold true, there's no denying that the Bridgewater Triangle has a unique atmosphere. The combination of its natural features, its history, and the persistent legend and lore creates this palpable sense of mystery and intrigue. It's a place where the boundaries between the known and unknown seem to blur, inviting us to question our understanding of reality. The mysteries of the Bridgewater Triangle elicit some strong reactions. While some dismiss the stories as hoaxes or misinterpretations, others are convinced that something truly unexplained is happening. And that raises an important question. What role does our own psychology play in how we perceive and interpret these events? Needless to say, the human mind is a powerful tool. It's capable of both perceiving and creating reality. Our beliefs, expectations, our past experiences shape how we interpret the world around us. This is particularly true when it comes to ambiguous or unusual phenomena. In the Bridgewater Triangle, where the line between fact and fiction are often blurred, it's easy for the mind to play tricks on us, leading to misinterpretations or even hallucinations. For example, someone who believes in Bigfoot may be more likely to interpret a rustling in the bushes as evidence of the creature, while someone who is skeptical may dismiss it as the wind. Similarly, like our video on the Ouija board, your perception of how you view things. If someone is a skeptic and they put their hand on the planchette, nothing's really going to happen. But if you believe that something's going to happen, you're going to find a reason for that to happen. Our beliefs and interpretations are also shaped by the social and cultural context in which we live. The Bridgewater Triangle, with its rich history of folklore and paranormal reports, creates an environment where belief and the unexplained can flourish. Stories are passed down through generations, reinforcing the idea that the region is a place of mystery and wonder. And it's this shared belief system that can influence individual perception and make people more likely to accept paranormal explanations for unusual events. And then there are also expectations that play a significant role. When people visit the Bridgewater Triangle, they often do so with the expectation of encountering something strange. This expectation can heighten their senses and make them more attuned to unusual sights and sounds. It can also lead to confirmation bias, where people focus on evidence that support their belief and ignore evidence that contradicts them. Again, the human mind is naturally drawn to the mystery and the unknown. We seek explanation for the things we don't understand, and sometimes those explanations involve the paranormal. For some, belief in the unexplained offers a sense of comfort and meaning in a world that can often feel chaotic and unpredictable. The Bridgewater Triangle is rich with legend and lore. It provides a fertile ground for exploring those beliefs and searching for answers to life's big questions. The Bridgewater Triangle remains an enigma, a place where the boundaries of reality seem to blur, and we've explored its history, we've delved into the mysteries, and examined the various theories that attempt to explain the strange phenomenon. But despite all of our efforts, the triangle still defies an easy explanation. So, I know this video has had a lot of info and can be a lot to soak up. So let's just recap some of the key mysteries. UFO sightings, from the well-documented 1976 encounter with a glowing object over Trenton to numerous other reports of strange lights and unidentified aerial phenomenon. There's Bigfoot encounters, mostly in the Hockomock Swamp, with its dense, foreboding landscape, and has had numerous Bigfoot reportings. Ghostly apparitions. The triangle in entirety is rife with ghost encounters, each with its own chilling tales, from the red-headed hitchhiker on Route 44 to the spectral figures haunting cemeteries and abandoned buildings. And then, unfortunately, you have the unexplained deaths and animal mutilations that just add a human darkness to the triangle. Now, while some may seek definitive answers to the mysteries of the triangle, perhaps the true allure is the Bridgewater Triangle's obscurity. It's a place that challenges our understanding of the world, and it invites us to question what we think we know. It reminds us that there are still corners of our planet, and perhaps our reality, that remain just shrouded in mystery. The Bridgewater Triangle is a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. It's a place where the boundaries between fact and fiction just blur, where the rational mind clashes with the inexplicable, and where the human spirit is confronted with the possibility that there may be more to this world than just what meets the eye. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the Bridgewater Triangle is sure to leave you pondering the mysteries that lie at the edge of our understanding. So, we've reached the end. And what do I think? I think the Bridgewater Triangle is a place of wonder, fear, and endless fascination. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, there is no denying the power of the enigmatic region to capture our imaginations. If you're ever in southeastern Massachusetts, considering venturing into the Bridgewater Triangle and experience the mysteries for yourself, be warned. You may never see the world quite the same way again. And now, as for me, I've got to go buy a tent and rowboat. I'll see you in the next nightmare.
And that's the end of the video, guys. I want to thank you all so much for sticking around this far. I hope you actually enjoyed the video. Just a heads up, reason for the delay, the rebrand, and I got a cold. I'm kind of at the end of it now, feeling a little better. If you haven't yet, please, please, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so that you can catch the next upload. Don't forget to like and comment. It's really the best way to help support the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.